Hey guys, subscribe for daily content, and if you're shopping for gear, make sure you check out the description for the newest items at some of the very best online retailers. There's also links for some of the items that I personally recommend. Thanks!
What's going on YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today I've got a super quick knife review / knife overview to share with you guys. This is the new Kizer Begleiter 2.9, which comes in both crossbar lock and Kizer's new button liner lock, which in reality is like a button operated top liner lock that is also very similar to the Spyderco compression lock because it actually does sandwich itself between the stop pin and the lock face. When Kizer does it correctly, it's really, really good. Sometimes Kizer doesn't do that lock very well, but they also do the clutch lock here, which Kizer has proven to do really well. So it really just depends on which version you want. I'll link both versions down in the description. It does help my channel when you use those links. That's entirely up to you. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me. Thanks to Kizer for sending this in. The Kizer Begleiter, once considered one of the greatest budget knives of all time. And then as the knife world progressed, many companies made similar knives. Some made better knives, and then an ocean of additional better knives came, and now the Begleiter is essentially just the Begleiter. Is it still a good knife? The short answer is yes, it is. Kizer has made some questionable choices here, and the price tag isn't amazing, but they're still good here. So we're going to go over it here real quick, but it's not a super complicated knife. Doesn't really require a super complicated review. Thanks to my patrons for supporting me, and make sure your notifications are turned on for the Metal Complex YouTube channel. Did I already say that? I don't know. Overall length of the 2.9 Begleiter coming in at 7 inches. Blade length 3 inches. Cutting edge about 2.75. Let's do some size comparisons. Any custom scales you find in this section can be found down in the description under Original Goat and Others. Up against my own full-size and compact Excalibur, it's closer to the compact, but it is more compact. Let's go ahead and put it up against the Spyderco Para 3. We'll use the Blade HQ exclusive version today. Sorry, I got some plugs hanging out there. And of course, the Spyderco. This is wrong. We're reviewing the Begleiter up against the PM2 and the Para 3. It is it's a quarter inch shorter than the Para 3, but it's got slightly more cutting edge with about the same ergonomic space. I mean, you're generally not going to be gripping the Para 3 down here, so it's actually pretty similar. And then finally, we'll put it up against the Benchmade Griptilian, or in this case, the Ritter Hogue and the Hogue Deca. Sorry, going a little slow today with the Deca. Okay, how's the action? It's just like every other crossbar lock that you have experienced over the last 5 years or so. The thumb studs are in a good spot. They are easy to manipulate. You can actually also reverse flick it. Kizer has, I'd say, medium to medium light Omega springs on this guy. It does come with extras, I believe. But yeah, it's pretty easy to manipulate, especially considering that it is a thinner and more compact knife. Runs on bearings. Not quite as satisfying as something that uses a detent ball, in my opinion, but good enough. Also, like I said, Kizer does a really good clutch lock. Kizer has knives that I have tested before on camera after unboxings that are the button-operated top liner locks / compression locks that should be stronger and more reliable, or at least as strong, and they have failed. They also have ones that have not failed. So Kizer has their clutch lock down, and I think that's great. They need to get their button-operated top liner locks, or whatever they call them, up to this standard. Let's go ahead and do carry profile thickness up against the Spyderco Para 3. This guy is a little bit thinner, length and height up against the PM2 and Para 3. This is a beautifully compact and lightweight knife that will honestly be easy to carry in pretty much any situation, even fitted dress pants. On that note, let's weigh it. What are we looking at for materials? We have micarta. We have steel for the liners, and then we have BD1N for the steel. Interesting choice. I will definitely talk about that. Your weight here coming in at 2.3 ounces, making it ultra lightweight. So that's nice. And then your balance is a little bit back of the pivot, but gosh, it's so lightweight, it hardly matters. Let's go ahead and do the hardware check. I'll get out my tools. As per usual, my tools are very inexpensive and very recommendable. You can find them right down in the section of my description that talks about the tools I use on this channel. The entire body, including the pivot, all utilizes T8. Even these pocket clip screws that are in place here holding the pocket clip in are T8, but the ones in the filler tab on the other side are T6, which is weird. Just make them all T8, but hey, as long as you have the right tools for the job, you should be good to go. No problem there. And then finally, we'll measure the blade stock thickness before we get into the old meat and taters. 100 and not, no, I'm sorry, not 190, 93,000. It's very thin. Meat and potatoes time. The best thing about this knife is that it is a very knife-shaped knife, and by that I mean it's got the classic handle profile and the classic blade profile. It's going to be very familiar. Not any real surprises here. Most people are going to be able to manipulate this. This is the type of knife that makes for a good gift for somebody who maybe isn't incredibly familiar with a lot of different systems, right? Maybe somebody who's not really like the biggest knife person. Somebody who's been carrying around that weird tack force knife for a long time and you just really want to get them something a little bit better. Something like this is going to be pretty safe. Kizer does a good job with fit and finish, and obviously the Begleiter has really good ergonomics. I have no complaints here. The ergonomic lines are nice. We have good jimping here. Placement of the thumb studs, like I said, is good. Ease of manipulation is also very, very good. Really no complaints. And extended jimping is also nice. The choice of BD1N is odd. People will go to bat for BD1N, and here's the reality of it. CTS BD1N has very, very good corrosion resistance. It has edge retention that is similar, slightly, and I mean like a hair better than your 14C28N. I also think this is the case when BD1 is heat treated to, I think its range, like its optimal range is 60 to 63. So really you need to be up there at 61 to 63. And even then it's only slightly better than 14C28N, but dramatically worse toughness. So we're looking at essentially the same corrosion resistance as 14C28N, a hair better in optimal circumstances, a hair better edge retention than 14C28N, and less than half of the toughness. 14C28N is a superior steel, like just flat out. And BD1N also seems to be a steel that's not like a premium steel, but it's one of those mid-range steels that just costs more just because, like N690 or VG10 or 154CM. I really like 154CM, but a lot of these steels in this range are just like, they kind of like their balance is, but they just cost more. BD1N seems to be in that same category, and BD1N is one of the least impressive steels in this sort of weird middle area. This should be 14C28N. It should be 14C28N at this price, period. In fact, I feel like maybe it would cost a little bit less in 14C28N. And also, 14C28N doesn't need to be nearly as high. Obviously, there's different complications with heat treating different steels, but from what I understand, getting 14C28N, which I feel like I'm saying that a lot, and it's got a lot of syllables, I'm sorry. It has a lower optimal range, and nobody's really having an issue getting it optimal. So I don't know why. Maybe Kizer got a good deal on some BD1N, and they just really want to use it. I don't know, right? It's not going to be anything special, but it is far from a bad steel. It's just not the optimal. It's just a curious choice, right? Very few steels are like perfectly optimized for their price range. So don't think I'm saying BD1N is bad. It's just not very special. So anyways, this particular version has purple thumb studs, and that's fine. I think the purple and the kind of grayish stone-colored micarta is fine. The black blade is just going to be some type of PVD, or honestly, it could be closer to paint, right? I don't know what type of coating process this is, but it's not DLC. It says Kizer on one side, and then on the other it says Ozzo, the designer, Begleiter 2.9, and BD1N, right? If I keep saying BD1, I'm sorry, BD1N actually is different. I think it's just BD1 with added nitrogen. I don't know. We have a filler tab that allows you to mount the pocket clip for left or right-handed carry. We have a little lanyard hole there. That's fine. We have, for some weird reason, a third. This is so bizarre. Why? It's like someone was like, whoops. Just leave it. That's what it looks like. Why do I have 3 standoffs? It's dumb. It's stupid. Just take one out. I don't understand. It's so weird. Anyways, pocket clip, fine. It's got that build. It's going to be a little grabby, but it doesn't create an ergonomic hotspot, so no big deal. A little bit of shouldering here. No blade play up, down, left, or right. No lock stick, no pivot lash. Nice and smooth. We have a nice and smooth pivot. We have kind of medium tension there with the Omega springs and perfect centering. This knife comes in at $69, which makes it very mediocre in a lot of ways. The Begleiter, like I said, once considered to be one of the greatest budget knives, is now just a pretty okay knife. And the choice of materials here and the resulting price tag are absolutely nothing special. It is the most ho-hum thing, or one of the most ho-hum things that Kizer has in its library. And like I said, this is a, if you like how this looks and you're just trying to go the safe route for somebody who's not really a knife person, right? This is okay. You have a bunch of choices. This is okay. I struggle to come up with a specific circumstance where anyone would choose this over anything else. But if you do choose this, it's not necessarily a bad choice. It's just an incredibly underwhelming choice. I'm reviewing it simply because it is a variation of the Begleiter, and the Begleiter used to be a really popular knife. But like I said, I can't really find anything ultra negative to say, and I also can't really find anything incredibly positive to say. This is a very rare, middle of the road review. I'm not going to not recommend it. I'm also not going to recommend it. It's barely a cheap knife that I like, so I guess I'll put it in that playlist, but I am very C- about this. That's kind of where I'm at. It's fine. Kizer, you should focus on making things that are way more interesting than this. This is not interesting at all. Interesting things will sell. People will buy and carry interesting things. People will want to talk about these, and this is not one of them. Even though I made a video on it, but I made the video basically to say that. That's going to be it today, guys. Please make sure to follow me on Instagram at metal_complex. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right there and subscribe, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.